Jaws 50th. It's in IMAX in re-release now. And what can be said about that film? This film that has not already been said, but I'll say a few things personally because I've watched it a few times recently. I saw it at the Hollywood Bowl with the LA Philharmonic doing a live score. I saw it there. I was on a panel at San Diego Comic-Con. Really, I love that Jaws is in the zeitgeist. There are Jaws popcorn buckets. There's a new appreciation for this film. I'll refer you, first of all, go see it in a theater. This movie holds up. It is one of the scariest films ever made. It's a monster movie. It's also a great story about blue-collar heroes and friendship. And I learned a lot. I'll also recommend, there's a documentary on Hulu. It is a brand new documentary about the making of Jaws. A couple things that I learned from watching this really great 2-hour documentary. One, there were only like 5 or 6 professional actors in the movie. Mm-hmm. Roy Scheider, obviously, Richard Dreyfuss, Robert Shaw, the actress who plays Chief Brody's wife,
and I think the mayor as well,
and the mayor. That's about it. Everyone else were locals from Martha's Vineyard who played all the characters. The one guy who they're on the dock, the guy says, "What?" Like, those are all real people. The reason the movie even has almost like a documentary feel at times, all those people were real. And they were cast locally to be in the film. So for people from Martha's Vineyard, this is like a time capsule of an era. That's why the movie comes off so authentically. That's why the acting is so good. And it really shows you that acting of extras can make or break a movie. The extras, the background people, Chief Brody is talking to the one guy, come on, get in the water, come on, get in the water. Why not? He's trying to Roy Scheider is so good. And sadly, with all the merch that's out there, there are no Chief Brody action figures. His family will not allow Roy Scheider's likeness to be used in any of the merch that's out there. So make of that what you will. But also in this documentary, we learned, of course, a lot more about the shark not working, how that wasn't an advantage, the score. But Steven Spielberg was traumatized after making this film. I mean, even the head of the studio came out and said, no harm, no foul. If you want to just stop production, just walk away. No big deal. It's no big deal if you don't finish the film. And he said, no, I'm going to finish it. After the movie came out, it was a huge hit. They actually took the orca, the original orca that was used in the movie is at Universal. I'm not sure if it's the actual one that's used in the theme park. I don't know if that's it.
Not the photo op moment, right?
The photo op moment. But they took it there, and he would sneak onto the orca and sit there and kind of relive the trauma and just sob. I don't know. I've never heard him tell that story. The fact that he felt obligated to tell that story seems a little odd to me, but I learned so much in this new documentary. And one of the things about Jaws that makes it so great is, they kill the young woman in the beginning, and the way that, that she flops around, and you know how they did that?
How?
They had 2 teams of people with ropes. They had her tied to a rope, and they were playing basically tug of war and pulling her back and forth between 2 teams. That's why she jerked around so violently. It was such a simple effect. It was like, here it is. They're playing tug of war with rope, and a woman is tied in the center, and it made her flop around like a rag doll in a horrific way. But that documentary is great. But this movie, the Kittner kid, who I was about the same age as that kid who got killed in the movie in a shocking way. You see the plume of blood go up, the fin flop, and him go down, and then a POV shot, you see him being pulled. When they killed that kid, no one was safe. Not a single person. They would kill a kid in the movie. A dog goes missing, assumed killed. The young woman in the beginning. So when you saw that almost anyone could die, no one was safe. No one was safe. This movie is terrifying. Last thing I'll end on was something I learned, that, you know, the head that pops out in the one scene where Richard Dreyfuss, Spielberg, even after they were done shooting and spending money, Spielberg was still working on the movie. They moved to Los Angeles to edit the film. They were working on editing the movie. Spielberg hated that shot. He shot it in someone's pool, one of the producers' pool. He goes, just let me film one shot of the head. That was shot in a pool. So, and the one thing that's kind of sad, you know, Spielberg made the movie. He will never get to experience the movie. His experience of the movie is making the movie. He will never get to see Jaws the way we see Jaws and can enjoy the film. So one of the greatest films, one of the greatest, according to Tarantino, one of the greatest movies ever made. See Jaws in a theater on IMAX if you can. I have a popcorn bucket. Alan, your thoughts on Jaws now re-release?
Okay, so my daughter and I are going to see Jaws on IMAX, but my experience with Jaws is I've seen bits and pieces of Jaws, and I've walked in on my family watching Jaws. I've seen the demise of one of the main characters. You know, and it's like, okay, after going to your panel at San Diego Comic-Con, it was like, okay, that's it. We need to sit down, watch this movie straight through, start to finish, and just experience it. The other thing is the way you describe the way this movie is made. It feels like an indie film.
Yes, it does feel like an indie film.
Let me name drop for a moment. But when I interviewed Steven Spielberg, I talked to him about his indie film experience, and he talked about, you know, back then indie films were basically produced by the big studios. He says that The Last Duel was his indie film, and that taking the sensibilities from The Last Duel, from Duel.
It's just Duel.
Taking the experience he got from Duel, he was able to. I mean, basically, that's his work there in Jaws, just really trying to problem solve, figure things out, and get the film finally made. You know, it's just weird that Spielberg is this indie filmmaker we never knew, because we just assume that he's always worked for the studio, which quite frankly he has.
Right.
But I'm excited to see it this weekend. This is something that my kid and I have been looking forward to for a very long time.
Yeah. Well, obviously, highly recommended. This is a re-review, and go see it in the theater.